I just finished watching episode 11 of Celebrity Big Brother, the double episode, and honestly, I'm at a loss for words. Man, this season is so messy. This season is so dramatic. I don't know who's going to win at this point. You've got 5 people who are slaying, who did not come to play, and I am all here for it, as I've been for the past 10 episodes prior to episode 11. So let's get down to this review. Pretty much it's a double eviction. It's day 24 in Big Brother. Just to recap, Mark is the HOH, Ari and Brandy are nominated. Mark's like, listen, Brandy's a target, let's break up the duo. I'm just like, I wonder how this is going to work. Let's just sit back and watch and see how it's going to go. Brandy's not surprised by the nomination. She believes that James is behind this. Yeah, he is behind it. And he's also supported by Marissa and by Ross. Ari wants to win the veto because she doesn't trust folks. Like, they keep saying, oh, Ari, you are the pawn. But Ari is on this whole thing where she probably has watched Big Brother or paid attention to the season that they gave her before she entered the house and realized that sometimes when they tell you you're a pawn, you can't really believe them because things change behind your back while you're sleeping, while you're pooping, while you're showering. Anything can change. Omarosa's just like, we can finally get the Wicked Witch out of the house. And I'm just like, Omarosa, you do realize that the house guests, some of them see you as the Wicked Witch? Just saying. Mark reveals that he nominated Brandy and Ari because they're a pair. I mean, duh. Ari believes that Marissa and Ross got in Mark's ear and that they know something. Yeah. Also, Ross is in an alliance with you guys and in an alliance with James and Mark. In that conversation involving Ari and Brandy, they realized that Ross was a part of the decision making as far as Brandy and Ari's nominations. There is no loyalty, and pretty much Ross will go with who has the power in the house. And just like, ding ding, you finally got it. Mark, Marissa, Ross, and James, my cat is like moving around in the background, sorry guys, will become the big 4, and they will pick Ari and Brandy off. Bingo! Ross tries to do damage control. He comes into the bathroom while Ari and Brandy are talking, and he's talking to them, but honey, it's too late. They already peeped your whole card, boo. Marissa feels like she can finally trust Mark and James. Ross says that he can't save Brandy from Brandy, but he loves her, yeah, outside of the game, but in the game, it's every man or woman for themselves. James and Ari are talking. James tells Ari that she's the pawn and that Brandy's the target. James wants to keep Ari, this is what he tells us, because she's weak and easier to be around. No one will save Brandy if they win the veto. Ari doesn't trust what he says, and she's right. She wants to win the veto. Then there's more political talk with Lady O, aka Omarosa. Omarosa reveals that she has a degree in telecommunications. I think it was like telecommunications and politics or something like that. Anyway, they start picking the veto competition players, and it is hilarious how Mark doesn't want to pick Omarosa because he said if he picks her and she wins the veto, then he'll have to put up one of his alliance members. And guess who he ends up picking from the little box thingy? Omarosa. Ari picks Marissa. Brandy does not want to pick James, but guess who she picked? James! Big Brother's so shady. Ari to Marissa. She says to Marissa, she's glad that she picked Marissa. She was about to talk to Marissa when Ross came in, and pretty much Marissa tells Ari that James and Mark said that she's not the target. Now, Ross has 2 Final Four deals. This is what he says to us. And he's happy that his name was not chosen for the veto. I'm like, yeah, because he's sitting pretty at this point. He doesn't have to do much. Doesn't have to get any blood on his hands. Pretty much the puppet master. Got to do what you got to do in Big Brother. Ross is in a good spot, but he has to make a difficult decision. Ari realizes that she has to win the veto. Yeah, she pretty much does, and she does. Julie tells them about the double eviction and no one is safe. And I'm like, nope. Really, in this game, no one is ever safe. Let's chat about the epic fight between James and Brandy. Now, the house is gathered together. They're around a little fire heat thing. Everything seems okay. And then Brandy asked for someone to say something bad about Julie Chen. And I'm just like, everybody around was like, what? And Omarosa said, I'm out. And Marissa's like, I'm out. Brandy all of a sudden says that she saved James. Yeah, she kind of did. And James says that Brandy has a lot in common with Omarosa, and Brandy gets upset, but in a way they both kind of do have a few things in common. James revealed how he felt about Brandy, doesn't really like her, and Brandy revealed that she doesn't really like James. She treated James ruder than anyone else in the house. This is what James says to Brandy. He can't wait to send her home, and little does he know that he's leaving right after her. That's another part that made this episode epic. Mark and Marissa agree with what James said about Brandy. And once they scatter, because I think it was Mark, Marissa, and James in the bathroom, they scatter. Brandy comes in the bathroom. She was in the kitchen kind of listening. She calls out Marissa because Marissa kind of said to the conversation. And she didn't say it in so many words, but Brandy was basically calling Marissa phony. And that's not the first time I've heard somebody call Marissa phony, because on social media, especially on Tumblr, quite a few people have been saying that Marissa is phony. I'm just like, I mean, in Big Brother, you kind of have to be a little bit phony. You got to do what you got to do to stay in the game. I mean, what else is there to say? Initially, Marissa wanted to win the veto so that she could save Ari and then put Omarosa up against Brandy. And then Omarosa would be the one going home. But after what happened with Brandy, she doesn't want to do that. I didn't expect her to want to do it anyway. So we get to the veto competition, and Omarosa was the first person to compete in the competition, and she took somewhere between like 35, 30, 37 minutes. And she didn't win, obviously, because once I saw the 37 minutes on the clock, I was like, she's not going to win this. When she finished and the next person started competing, Omarosa decided that she wants to get in good with Ross. And just like that's not going to work because Ross wants her out. There's nothing that can change his mind. He wants her out of the house. And he's wanted her out since the first time that he saw her walk through the door. Ross does not trust her. Then all of a sudden, Ari won the veto. I'm like, oh, go Ari. So Ari's safe. Ari used the veto to help save herself. And Mark then had to nominate Marissa. And Lady O is happy that she was not nominated. James seemed like he was under the impression that he would never be backdoored. And I was kind of laughing in my head because as I was watching the episode, I knew what had happened. So I'm just like, James, I feel sorry for you. Now, Marissa refuses to campaign against Brandy because she likes Brandy. But she said that she's proud of being a cancer survivor, and her son Zev's, or is it Zeb or Zev? Her son's mom. Brandy loves a lot of people in the house. She didn't say everyone. She hopes that Ari wins the whole thing. Hopes that people see the softer side of Omarosa. And she gives Omarosa her squash, which I thought they said the name was Charles, but maybe I was hearing things. Either way, it was a cute squash. And in a vote of 3-1, James, Ross, and Omarosa voted for Brandy, and Ari voted for Marissa. Brandy was evicted from the Big Brother house. She said something to Ari in her ear about Ari being safe. She was warning her or something. So we get to Brandy's exit interview, and she said that Ross chose to betray her and stab her in the back. Apparently, she and Ross had a final two, so that whole rumor about Ross having a final two with everyone was correct. I didn't doubt it, by the way, because Ross seemed like that type of player that was literally making deals with everybody, so if he made it to the end, he had to deal with just about every single person in the house. Brandy wants Ari to win, but she knew that she could not win sitting next to Ari in the end. Brandy said that James was arrogant and cocky rather than confident, and yeah, James is a tad bit arrogant. Brandy knows her mouth got her in trouble. She said that Big Brother is more cutthroat than the housewives of, I believe it was Beverly Hills. Brandy did not expect to leave the house with friends, and she said that she's a lot softer than she seems. The goodbye messages were pretty interesting. Ari's message was so sad. Marissa was talking and Brandy was faking a smile, but you can tell Brandy does not like Marissa at all. Ross said that the line was drawn and he had a choice to make, and I'm just like you didn't help draw that line though. James's message was particularly nasty. He basically said that this day was the best day that he had in the house, meaning the day that Brandy was kicked out of the Big Brother house. And Brandy hoped that Ari won the next two competitions. Well, a new HOH was crowned. This person was the winner of the Big Brother auction, and that was Omarosa, and I was not surprised she won that HOH. I like how everybody was at a different point in the house for that competition, and I hope that Big Brother does it again in Season 20 and in Celebrity Big Brother Season 2. Omarosa decides to nominate Ross and Marissa, and then the veto competition pops up. Ross won the veto. He uses the veto to save himself. Omarosa replaces Ross with James. James seems so, surprised that he was nominated. It's basically James up on the block with Marissa. James's little speech before the votes were cast was, "This is no fun trying to campaign against Marissa." But he said that he's been a man of his word. And Marissa said in her speech, "You won't get to the final two with James." And she's right. In a vote of 2-1, the 2 coming from Ari and Ross and the 1 coming from Mark, James was evicted from the Big Brother house, and you could tell that he was surprised. I see what Brandy was talking about when she was calling him a little bit arrogant and cocky. I mean, Big Brother has had a number of contestants that have been very sure of themselves, very arrogant, a little bit cocky. But James is definitely something else in my opinion. James was not a happy camper to be booted out, but it is what it is. All of a sudden, Omarosa in the background, because you know how they always show the house guests right before the camera that's pointing in the house kind of goes off, and the one out on the stage in the front of the house comes on, or if they kind of shift the focus to Omarosa had to defend herself or something, and I'm just like, why? It's a game. She shouldn't have to defend herself regardless of what she does, regardless of what anybody does in this game. You should not have to defend yourself. You're just playing the game. That's it. James was pretty surprised. This is what he said in his exit interview with Julie. He said that the smarter move would have been to put up Ari next to Marissa because he was under the impression that Marissa was the target. As soon as she put up, and I'm talking about Omarosa, Ross and Marissa, I believe they both were the target if you want to be technical. Probably Ross more than Marissa because Ross nominated her and kept pushing for her to be nominated, but still. He said that he was not, and I'm talking about James, was not going to make this game easy for anyone. James said he went wrong by not committing to the deal with Lady O, but if he had, he still would be in the house. He thought that his alliance was a better choice. I'm like, you thought wrong. Because when they turned on Shannon, that should have been a big red flag to James, but I think that James felt because he was the youngest in the house that he was in a better position to win. And I'm just like, when it comes to Big Brother, age has nothing to do with it. It's mostly up here in the old cranium. James says that Brandy blew up the house and told lies. Of the few conversations that I heard Brandy have on the live feeds, I haven't heard her lie. Now, Omarosa has told a few embellished stories. But Brandy, I don't think she was lying. I think she was a little bit tipsy when she was talking, but I don't think she was lying. James says that Brandy has a crush on him. I'm like, yeah, right. If she did have feelings for him after the way he acted in that house, the feelings are gone. He said that it's anyone's game, but that Ross has done the best so far. And he's happy that at least he beat Brandy. Well, that's about it. I'm Sage Valentine. This double episode was good. I'm kind of sad to see Celebrity Big Brother end, but all good things must come to an end. I have 2 more episodes to review. I will get them out to you. Episode 12 is airing right now, and the clock says 8:37, so I'm going to watch it, and then I'm going to review it. I probably won't post that review till tomorrow, but it is what it is. Tomorrow is Walking Dead Day for all my TWD fans. I will be watching the episode more than once, and I will be reviewing it. That review will be posted this week. But until I review episode number 12, you all take care, and I love you guys. As always, bye guys. Bye.